obviously you go through your honeymoon phase, that I've always just found very detractive. I love all people. You know what I'm saying? I love all people. But if there's one trait of people that I respect, because everyone can be on their thing, you know, everyone's got their process, their journey. I'm not here to come for that. But if there's one thing that I always have to perk up on, just that twinkle comes in my eye where I'm just like, everyone's got some. Your artillery, your storage unit, your wealth of knowledge.
Hey guys, it's Jordan, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Get comfortable, get relaxed. We are here to talk and curate the vibes. Very excited. And today is my 8th episode, so let's dive right in. The topic or title for today is the prize of being single. And I'm very excited to talk about this because I think unilaterally we're seeing this reevaluation of the place on relationships in our lives. I think both as young people, young adults in general. I really view friendships as a whole as being relationships that deserve their own emotional weight, but in terms of romantic interest or meeting your emotional needs, what about being single gives off that same value or maybe security than necessarily being in a relationship? What can you do to fulfill those needs? And then outside of even the context of having a partner, or maybe it's companionship that you really value from a relationship, where does that need fall within what you're supplying outside of this other relationship? Or where does that fall with the relationship you have with yourself? I think a lot of people downplay how great they are or how they show up for themselves in regards to their dreams or the people around them. And I wonder sometimes why that isn't valued when people think about how they contribute in a relationship or to their community. I deeply care about my friends. I value my friendship, and there's a commitment to that that's beautiful, that I think in kind of like a colloquial American sense, when people get into relationships, the first thing they throw away are their friends. And that's never sat right with me. I've always had the vision of being able to grow old, gracefully of course, with the love in your heart and with a community of people that equally have that same shared love, where you enjoy each other's company and contribution into the light, if you will. You know, it doesn't have to get... We're not getting death up in here, but with being single, I think even just if I wanted to make this a conversation about marriage, there's marriage from the legal standpoint, and then there's the union of your souls, if you view it in that light, or the dedication you're making to another partner to show up in the relationship, or the commitment you've made to one another. I think that's beautiful. But I do believe that same energy can be applied to uplifting ourselves or enabling the oversight that comes from being great and giving yourself the time of day to let yourself be great. I think the first thing that happens when people are in relationships, obviously you go through your honeymoon phase, and then you get to know your partner, and that relationship sort of blossoms. But I always find it interesting, and it depends on the relationship. I don't want it to seem like I'm generalizing too much, but at least in the observational experience, I can claim there's that slow kind of losing out of independence or enabling yourself in your self-interest versus accommodating, feeding into the relationship, that I've always just found very detractive. detractive, retractive, detractive, detractive. And so I just question, especially as I look at going in or being in a relationship in my future, where I want to hold that power within myself to make sure I'm honoring both my partner, but what I'm looking for within that union. Because a lot of people lose agency in that same way as to meeting their needs versus still what they have to accomplish in their day-to-day. A lot of times I have to remind people, and maybe it's not the most romantic. Personally, if I'd have to label myself as anything, I'm not a hopeless romantic, I'm a hopeful romantic. Stars and the moon, water, the night sky, I go big or go home, be grand, be extravagant, really create a world for someone else. But a lot of times there's the shying away from really celebrating what happens when you have something special with someone else. That I always kind of have to side-eye and be like, are y'all okay? Because I find so much joy in the renaissance that takes place when people discover everything they have to contribute. And whether that's their talents or skills manifesting through achieving their dreams, or you see a community of people thriving because they support one another and they're celebrating the moment, which is something that you rarely see right now. And I think both of those qualities or factors are things that we can find within ourselves now in order to bolster that superhero effect. You know, I say all the time, you are the main character of your life, your story. And more often than not, we find ourselves playing these side character roles out of responsibilities that were never a part of our grand design. And I think that might sound selfish, but the reality is you have to accept that you are in the driver's seat and that you deserve to be great. You deserve to take a risk. You deserve to be your best self, whether that's going on that date, whether that's making something new to eat and challenging yourself, whether that's going to a museum or simply daring to do something different from your routine. There's so much agency within understanding your position and making moves from that standpoint versus falling into line or under someone's wing or guise because it's easy, or you lack the self-confidence or self-love to have a true vision to guide yourself towards what you deserve. I love all people. You know what I'm saying? I love all people. I love all people. But if there's one trait of people that I respect, because everyone can be on their thing, you know, everyone's got their process, their journey. I'm not here to come for that. But if there's one thing that I always have to perk up on, just that twinkle comes in my eye where I'm just like, serial daters. If your relationship on a regular is a month or 3 months, and then you follow that up with a week or a 2-week break into another relationship with someone you just met, you need to take some time for yourself. That's just my belief. I think relationships should be metered. There is a time to let things develop so that you don't rush into things. But equally, I think you're looking for someone that's special. And sure, everyone's got something special about them, but that doesn't mean that special is meant for you right then and there, or it's going to be that easy to find something special after you just had something special. You know what I mean? And if it's back to back, then you have to wonder, what's special about all of these guys? Or are you just lowering the mark in order to have that companionship or do those activities? Have someone to take that picture. And that's really what I mean when I say there's so much more adventure to life than I think a lot of us are allowing, because maybe we're stuck to a schedule, and so choosing to do something different can risk the backlash of not doing something safe or having the time to recover and then go back into your routine. But choosing to do something different, going to a different restaurant, choosing the longer way to get to your destination, you never know how one decision, the butterfly effect, is going to open up a world of possibility, of options to go down a different path and develop your day. I genuinely think a lot of times people are in relationships these days, either because they've truly found a commitment that's worth honoring, a spark that's just continually lighting the way to new possibility, or they haven't done the internal work to ask themselves who they are, what they like, and am I willing to be patient to be in a relationship with myself? That same energy I'm talking about, we've been talking about this whole video, with yourself. This past year, I really took time away in order to be in a relationship with myself, honor myself, give myself the space to understand how I contribute in respecting myself and what I'm capable of, and my ambitions, my hopes, my politics. There's so much that we can believe in terms of what's going on in this world, but with ourselves and with who we have the benefit to commune with, then I think a lot of times you can't let yourself disrespect your advancements, your goals, your priorities. At every turn, whether it's corny or, the best self-help guru matcha vibe, you have to encourage yourself every time. Left, right, up, down, diagonal. You have to encourage yourself. And it just has to be that way, because the reality is that life is going to be ups and downs. And because we're in this age where we understand so much more about ourselves in this world than ever before, I think now is the time that everyone gives themselves the opportunity to be liberated and free themselves from shame, guilt, insecurity, anger, resentment, and just enjoy at least a little bit of what you might really want to do with your day. And hey, go to your job, go to your favorite activity. But what I mean is, take your best self there. Take that part of you that maybe is still a child, or has wondered why people don't just go dancing, or, tap along or smile because something made them laugh, or quirk up because it was interesting on a Monday. I want people to, I say it all the time, invest in yourself. The more you invest in yourself, it's truly a return that will never yield anything wrong. Sure, you might take the long route, but I guarantee you are worth it if you give yourself the opportunity to show up for yourself. It's very easy to want to be in a relationship, or it's easy to feed into the loneliness or the chaos, or not knowing what's going on in your life, not knowing what to do, when that person's going to show up. Is it you? Is there a reason maybe you're single? But I think there's an advancement to the opportunity of getting to know yourself. I think being single is really the higher position. There are beautiful unions, and when people who are meant to be with each other find that joint connection, that spark, in order to just feed into one another, and they're really adding to each other's lives, that's different from even something purely passionate, sexual, or just not developed enough to be healthy. When really, I'm always shocked by if that dedication was used to encourage yourself to go abroad, to save and open a business, or take a risk and make videos every week, or talk to someone new at the gym, then you would be so surprised how your world would open up. And that's the kind of minutia that I want people to smile about when I say you have so many options. And yes, they can be cringe, they cannot work out, but I'd rather that be a part of my tapestry. I'd rather that be a part of my story or the narrative of what my day has become, versus something that detracts, or I'm mad that I didn't even try. Because you did try. And that, in and of itself, is a step forward. And there's information that you'll be able to collect and reflect on to really color what that step after that is going to be. I find that in my life as well, especially now. I'm ready to take on those challenges, especially after you've taken a period of time to really look in the mirror, or even just look at yourself introspectively and just take it in, take inventory, and really bolster what you have to offer, your artillery, your storage unit, your wealth of knowledge. You have so much to offer. And so when I think of the prize of being single, I want to say that the word really comes to autonomy and choice, because you can liberate yourself, you can thrive and have every experience you need or want in this life, but getting there, it's not overnight, but it is day to day. And it's these tiny choices that challenge us to be ourselves, our true selves, that really means we're doing the work. It's difficult, it's not easy, but it gets easier, and that's the fun part. And once you're doing it, you know you're having a good time. It's just getting started. And that's the truth of it. So enjoy being you. Enjoy being single. And be willing to choose better for yourself. Or choose adventure. Choose fun. I know you can do it. I'd like to say thank you for watching this video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We keep it fun. We keep it light. I get serious. I'm not afraid to rant, but we have a good time. Like the video, comment, subscribe, share. I think I'm fun. I'm gonna say y'all think I'm fun. And we need more original voices, more original content. People just doing what they do, saying what they say, and willing to connect with people. So connect with me. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you on my next video. Bye.